When faced with Alzheimer's disease, it's not just the patient that's facing a tough road ahead. Caregivers often struggle with their new role. MedWatch Today's Julie Musgrave shares one woman's story on how information and support is helping her make the most of a tough diagnosis.
To be honest, my whole life has changed.
It was just about a year ago when Julianne Burke learned her mother had Alzheimer's.
Once you get diagnosed, yes, things really start to make a lot more sense, and you can kind of understand and put things in context.
Julianne moved from the East Coast back to Fresno to become her mom's caregiver.
Their universe really is no longer the same as ours. So the inputs that they're getting, the processing that they're doing, no longer really lines up with what we do.
Alzheimer's is a degenerative disease of the brain affecting memory and spatial orientation.
And so our job is to make their journey through our universe as comfortable as possible by supporting them and not telling them things they don't need to know.
Dr. Lauren Alving is the director of the UCSF Fresno Alzheimer and Memory Center. She's also treating Julianne's mother, but she says providing care for Julianne and others in her position is just as important.
Because they don't know how to reach out, or they feel that they need to do it themselves.
She says caregivers often get overloaded with financial, emotional, and social burdens.
They need to know they don't need to go through it alone, and that there are people who can help.
The center can set families up with a social worker or support groups to go over any problems, difficulties, or provide therapies, which in turn helps the caregiver feel more in control.
Take a step back and make sure that I'm okay, that I have had some rest, that I've had something to eat, maybe a little fuel in my body, that I'm centered, and that I'm ready to be able to address her needs. Because when I'm not exhausted and just overwrought, I can help her.
Julianne's mom is still in the early stages of the disease.
I don't want to sugarcoat this. I know that this is going to get much more difficult. I know that. But for the time being, while she's still in that early, mild stage, her personality is actually blossoming.
And with that dose of optimism, Julianne is taking on the role of caregiver, full of support and understanding, something she hopes others in her position know they can have too.
We can't control what happens in life. Life throws things at us that we don't want, but we can really help people, I believe that. I have to have a lot of hope, and I do.
What a beautiful story. Best of luck to them.